All right, guys, you need to understand that there are two types of men in this world. There are the 99% who buy the girl flowers, act like nice guys, and try to be good boyfriends. And chances are you are probably this guy. And if you aren't right now, you've been it at some point in your life. And you've probably figured out that this does not work for you. It ends up with you, getting left on red. It ends up with you getting the text that says, I just see you as a friend, while she runs off with the guy that she was always complaining about. It ends up with your girlfriend saying she doesn't have feelings for you anymore while she dumps you or she cheats on you or all this bullshit that comes with being this kind of guy. Because here's the thing. The harsh truth is these guys, they get left, they get ignored, they get friend zoned for the guy that she tells you not to worry about. And what we're going to do in this video is discuss how you can become the guy that she tells you not to worry about. Because here's the thing, any man can become the guy that she tells you not to worry about. I promise you, whatever situation you're in, I don't care if you're fucking 5'5", doesn't matter. You can become the guy that she tells you not to worry about, because it comes down to mastering 5 key areas of masculinity. And when you master these things, you go from the guy getting the text that says, like, you're a really nice guy, but I see you as a friend, to the guy getting the 3 a.m. text like, hey, what are you doing? Any man can do this. And so we're going to get into it by covering these 5 key areas of masculinity. Let's get into it with the first one, which is mindset. And so what I'm going to do for this one, the mindset is actually the foundation of everything. And it is probably the most important element that you need to master if you want to make this switch, because it really just starts at the core of the man. And so what I'm going to do here is contrast the nice guy mentality versus the guy she tells you not to worry about's mentality, which is really that alpha mentality, what we call the douche mentality here on the channel if you're new to the channel. So the nice guy mindset, this guy is afraid of his own masculinity. He has no backbone. He tries to please others rather than pleasing himself and being authentic. He's got flaccid, weak energy. He has no gravitas. When he walks in the room, nobody gives a shit. He has no backbone, no ability to stand up for himself. He's got that people pleaser thing to the core of himself, always worrying about what other people think of him, worrying about like, hey, is this offensive? Worrying about like, well, I guess I should do all this stuff for this girl because I want her to like me. And this constant like need to like supplicate to get something out of this woman, or just really it's like an overall social issue that the nice guy has. But most guys are in this boat, and this is how they move. They're afraid of their own manhood deep down. They're afraid of being aggressive. They're afraid of stepping into who they really are as men. Whereas the guy she tells you not to worry about is in touch with his masculinity, meaning that he's living in his own frame, not the woman's. So most guys are kind of in this space where like they find a girl and they get absorbed into her world, where, it's supposed to be the other way around, but he's so needy, so kind of like in this boyish energy where he's almost like looking at the girl like to be his new mother, because he hasn't really fully detached from his mother. That's a bit of a psychological rabbit hole we won't get fully into in this video, but that's kind of why he almost gets absorbed into the woman's frame all the time. He meets a girl and he gets caught up on her world. He's listening to her talk on the phone for fucking hours on end. He's always like contorting himself to accommodate her life and all this kind of shit. Whereas the guy she tells you not to worry about is living in his own frame, not the woman's. He's not contorting himself. He's like his own fucking man. He's doing his own thing. You can come join me, or you can get the fuck out the way. That's how he moves. He's got grounded energy. He feels very raw and authentic in his body language, his tone, his behavior. He carries himself in this way where it's just like, I mean, you've even seen it like with certain guys. Like think about like a Conor McGregor and the way he walks, or even like an Andrew Tate or a Tristan Tate. They move with this sort of like energy about them, like they're going somewhere. There's no hesitancy in them. They're just moving fully. When they communicate, it's with absolute certainty. They're comfortable like speaking and being heard. They have this sort of like way of moving. Their body language is spread out. They are that kind of guy. They're very grounded and good with themselves. They've got this raw energy about them that just oozes off because they are good with who they are at the core. And so they move with that energy. The guy she tells you not to worry about is very certain in himself. This is something we discuss with the douche mentality. The douche is somebody who is certain about who he is and certain in his beliefs. Even if he's wrong, if he ends up being wrong, he's okay with that. He'll change course. But until you show him that he's wrong, he's not kowtowing, he's not backing off, he's not holding back, he's not trying to be PC, he's saying what the fuck he thinks, he's certain in that, and he's not worried about being offensive and all this kind of shit. He just says how he feels, he moves with a certainty about him, and this is very attractive to women. It's like, if he's going after a business, he's certain the business is going to work. If he's going to, go be a professional athlete, he is certain he's going to be the best. He is like, moves with this energy of certainty. If he's a fucking real estate agent, then he is certain he is going to close the deal. If he's a fucking, it doesn't matter. Like, he's just, whatever he's doing, he's fucking certain in it. He's like, I'm going for this shit. I got it. I know where I'm going. We're going to get this done. He's got that kind of energy about him. He's unapologetic and willing to offend her, meaning like, he will just, like, most guys, what they do when they're around a woman is they're always trying to think about like what they should say. Whereas the guy who she tells you not to worry about, he doesn't do that. He just says what he thinks, and he's like, if this offends you, fuck it. Like, he'll check her on her bullshit. He'll do whatever. He'll talk shit. He just doesn't care, and he'll cuss. He'll do whatever. Like, he's not pulling punches at all when he's around the woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's just like very unapologetic. He's like, I don't give a fuck what you think of me, basically, is the energy here. Nice guys are moved emotionally by women. The guy she tells you not to worry about moves her emotionally. This is a big thing you need to understand. It's about going from the effect to the cause. So nice guys are constantly in reaction mode to a woman. They are reacting to her not texting him back. They are reacting to her opinion of him. They are reacting to her interest in sleeping with him or dating him. And he's always in this space where it's all like revolving around her, and he's always at the effect of her. She doesn't like this. This is repulsive. As the man, you're supposed to be at cause, okay? And so what you want to make this switch, if you want to go from nice guy to the guy she tells you not to worry about, is you need to find a way to become at cause. You move her emotionally. You are driving the boat. You're on offense, right? So what are some ways that this might look? It looks like you're the one who ghosts her. It looks like you're the one who, let's say that you're setting up a date with some girl and it's for Saturday, and she's like, are you free Saturday? Instead of being like, yes, I'll be there at 11 o'clock, you're like, I'll let you know. And then you don't let her know, right? It's that kind of thing. It's like this kind of thing where she's constantly like in limbo with you. She's wondering where she stands with you. You're always like giving her a feeling, right? When she's around you, it's that unapologetic energy. It's like that bravado, that swag, like you're carrying yourself in this certain way where she's constantly at the effect of you. You are moving her emotionally in all these different ways. It can be good or bad. The main thing they always say with women is you just can't bore them. And the guy she tells you not to worry about, he never fucking bores her. It's a roller coaster for her. One day he might dump her. The next day he's, getting back together with her, but he's just driving this whole thing. It's like he's constantly in his own world, and he's just causing a stir in her all the fucking time because he's at cause. He's not constantly in reaction. The main lesson here, as long as you just learn to not be at the effect, you will naturally start to be at the cause. So if you can just notice like, okay, I'm reacting to this woman, if you can just cut all that shit out, you will naturally start to get at cause. Okay, so that's a big thing you got to understand. The nice guy is in her world. The guy she tells you not to worry about is in his own world. You guys need to really focus on building a world for yourself. This is really important. And what I mean by that is like, you've got purpose, you've got things you're going after. And so you're in this place where like you've created a reality for yourself. And I put it right here, most guys are raised with a people-pleasing mentality, and they don't realize that most of their life is being dictated by other people. They are in a job other people told them they should get. They are, driving a car that their parents told them was a good investment. They are, worried about what their friends think. They're constantly in this space where like everything in their life is being dictated by other people. The clothes they wear are approved of. Their political opinions are approved of. What they'll say publicly is approved of by other people. They're in this space where it's not their own world. They are not living in their own world. They are living in somebody else's world, a bunch of people's. They're living in the matrix, basically, which in this case, the matrix is other people's approval of them, which ends up getting them in this spot where they're flaccid and uninteresting and boring, and they never get what they want out of life. Responding on other people's time, constantly accommodating the wishes of other people, worrying about what other people think, and following the approved life path. These are ways that the nice guy moves in such a way where he is in other people's world. And you got to understand, like, the guy she tells you not to worry about, he rejects all of this. He is marching to the beat of his own fucking drum. He's doing it his way. He's not worried about any of this shit. You need to build your own world and let other people enter it, not the other way around. So this is why also, like, I think a lot of guys struggle in their early 20s with girls these days, is because you haven't built a world for yourself. And it's like you have to build this thing from the ground up, because if you really want to be that man, like, you have to have something for her to come enter. You got to understand, it's the same with, like, if you were looking for an employee, but you don't have a business. Well, like, how are you going to hire an employee? You need a role for them to fill. So once you've built your own world, now she can enter the world, and she wants to be in this space where she feels like she's kind of in this thing you've got going on. That's what she's looking for here. And the guy that she tells you not to worry about provides this for her. She can, like, imagine this. She sees this world he's creating. He's in his own lane. He's doing his own thing. He's in his own space, building something. And she's just, like, in awe of this, because most guys aren't doing it. And she just wants to, like, she's, like, gravitationally pulled into this. She can't help it. She's at the reaction to his emotions again, because you're at cause. And because of that, she's constantly at the effect of you. And you've got this world you've built. And so she's just, like, getting sucked into it, whether she likes it or not. And this is the kind of the magnetic pull that the guy that she tells you not to worry about has on women. He just has this way of sucking everybody into his worldview and what he's got going on. And, like, the train's going this way, get on board, right? Everything is done on your terms. Now, the key to this is that it's not through force, but through non-neediness. So this isn't about, like, it's my way or the highway, bitch, come get in my fucking, like, get on my time or some shit. It's not about, like, forcing it. You're in this space where you're like, I genuinely don't give a fuck if you come along or not. That's the energy. It's not about, trying to force a girl to like you and trying to, like, force her to be on your time. If she's not down with it, then fuck her, because you're the guy she tells you not to worry about. Believe me, that guy's got a lot of options. You want to carry yourself from this abundance mentality space. If it's not her, it'll be somebody else. And that energy, along with all the other things we mentioned, is attractive. And so everything is done on your terms through non-neediness. And how does this manifest? Let's say that she wants you to go to, I don't know, a dinner party that she's having with some friends, and you don't want to go. So you don't go. That's it. You don't like fight it. You don't do all this shit. You're just like, no, I'm not going. Or you don't answer. Like, you're always in this space where you're doing your own thing, right? And, like, maybe you've got this thing where, like, let's say she wants a boyfriend really bad, but you're the guy she tells you not to worry about. You got a bunch of girls. You're not trying to have a long-term girlfriend right now. You know what I'm saying? And so she's trying to force you into this kind of thing, and you're just like, nah, we're not doing this kind of thing. You get what I'm saying? Like, how this kind of works? Like, everything's on your terms. If you want to do it, it will be done. If you don't want to do it, it's not happening. And it's not about a fight. It's just genuinely, like, there's no fight to be had here, because I'm not even, like, considering your worldview. It's my worldview only. And if what you're offering me fits in my worldview, then we'll do it. If it doesn't, literally is not even going to cross my mind. Don't give a fuck. I'm going this way. Okay. Like, that's the kind of energy that you want to adopt. The nice guy is afraid to rock the boat. This is another important term. The guy she tells you not to worry about is polarizing. He will say the thing. He's not worried about being offensive to her or to anybody else. And this is very attractive. This is like, you need that polarity to create attraction. And the nice guy gives no polarity, and therefore you can't be attracted to him. He's flaccid. There's nothing to him. Like, the guy she tells you not to worry about has a lot of edge to him. And it just drags her in, again, at cause. Being polarizing is you being at cause. If she does something you think stupid, you're like, that's stupid. You just say it. You tell her what to do. There's no hesitancy in it. Like, let's say, like, I had this situation one time with this girl who I ended up being the guy she tells you not to worry about with this girl. She was a coworker of mine at this back at this real estate firm I had, and I would just, like, see her, and she was always trying to, like, do the chick thing where they're always trying to, like, nag you and, like, nag you and see if you'll, like, kind of bend to their will and shit. And again, I didn't do any of this stuff, and so she's just getting sucked more into my worldview because I just wouldn't back off who I was at all. But one thing I would do is, like, I would just be giving her orders. I'd be telling her what to do. I'd be like, you need to do this for this client. You need to do this for this situation. Go get this done. Like, I would start, like, giving out orders basically to her, and she would just start following along with this thing. Like, it's just creating creating this polarity because I'm not worried about what she thinks. I'm not worried about it. If she did something I thought was stupid, I'd be like, that was a terrible idea. That was so dumb. Why did you do that? Like, and it's not like a dickhead thing. It's just blunt honesty. It's just like this kind of way you're just moving and you're good with being polarizing. Like you're good with pushing her away. You're good with saying the thing you don't give a fuck. And it all starts with that. And you just get her constantly emotionally ramped up in you when you do this kind of stuff. The nice guy tries to be what she wants. The guy she tells you not to worry about just is what she wants. This is a big thing that you got to understand. So like what women say they want, hopefully you figured this out by now because you're a grown man, I would assume. Like hopefully you figured out that what women say they want is not what they actually want. They don't want the nice guy. They don't want the guy who's always available. They want the guy who is a problem, basically. That's what they want. So like the guy she tells you not to worry about doesn't listen to her words. She wants the guy who just gets it. So like he just knows. He's just like, I know what the deal is here. Like he gets it on a certain level. And so he's not listening to her words. He just doesn't pay attention. This is a good rule for you guys. Like almost always you shouldn't even pay attention to what a woman says. All right, I felt like I needed to put this in here before some dipshit goes out and catches a charge. Me saying don't listen to what a woman says is not an invitation for you to force yourself on a woman. If she says no and you're trying to get sexual with her or something like that, back the fuck off, okay? We don't need guys catching charges. We don't need you forcing yourself on it like that. That's obviously not what I meant, but I figured I should just clarify that. It's like you got to read the subtext underneath what they're saying because it's never what they're saying. Like it's all like you just view everything through the perception of she wants to see if you're a high value guy. And if you look at it that way, then you can read everything correctly because she'll spew out a bunch of like, quote, logical things that she's saying that she claims she wants you to do for her and stuff like that. But then you'll do it and notice her attraction drops because it's not about the logic. They're driven by their feelings. They want to be around this guy who is high value. And so if you start taking her logic serious and trying to like act like, oh, I'm going to be what she wants me to be, you just lost right there. The guy who she tells you not to worry about just gets this on some level. He's like, I don't give a fuck what you're telling me you want me to do for you because I know you don't even mean this, right? I'm in, again, she's just constantly trying to see if you are that guy, okay? And he gets this. And so he just is the guy that she likes. He's not trying to do anything. He's not contorting. He's grounded in himself and he just knows what the fuck's up. And so like he's just like, whatever, I know you're gonna like me. Like I know it. So I don't need to fucking contort myself for you. Tell me all this bullshit you want me to do. I'm just gonna ignore it and keep doing my thing. And eventually you're gonna come around to me. This is kind of just how this works. And some of you guys have probably experienced this before. If you haven't, try it out. You'll start to see it for yourself. Her fantasy is an uncontrollable beast of a man who lives in his own world, but through her feminine charm, she gets him to have a soft spot for her. That is what you need to really like at the core understand about women and what they're attracted to. It is the opposite of what they say. They are attracted to this uncontrollable beast of a man who has problems to him. He's almost always got problematic traits. He's a gangster. He's non-reliable. He's unreliable, right? He might vanish for weeks at a time. He's got a drinking problem, or like he's a fighter, or he's just brash and loud and cusses a lot. Like he's just got these problematic traits to himself. He's dating a bunch of girls. Like he's just got this thing to him. He's this uncontrollable beast of a man who lives in his own world. So like she just sees this guy who's just like the center of this vortex basically that is happening, and he's just he looks like he's just wild and untamed. I'm telling you, this is the fantasy. And if you start to notice it, you'll see it in the movies that properly depict this. You'll see it in the guy that she's attracted to. It's the guy who just doesn't listen to anything she says. It's the guy who's always causing trouble. It is this guy. That's who she's into. But she likes the idea that through her feminine charm, she gets to be the one that you have a soft spot for. And so, like, here's some examples of this. Tommy Shelby and Grace in Peaky Blinders. This is my favorite TV show. Perfect example of this. This gangster guy, and she comes in, and she literally is a spy for the British government or something like that. She's a spy for the British government, spying on him to try and get him arrested. He's this stone cold gangster who damn near tries to sell her into prostitution in the first scene of in the first season of the show. And it's like she's got this affection for him. And it's this progression that you see over the show where she goes from his enemy and he's on this side, but he's just, again, he's this vortex of a man. He's this wild beast of a man, gangster, like just all kinds of crazy shit is going on around him. He's just up to whatever. He says whatever. He doesn't care if he offends her. He intimidates everybody. He's got this thing about him. And over time in the show, she gets this feeling that through her femininity, she won him over with this soft spot that he has now for her, which is kind of the plot line that happens between these two throughout the show. Is like he goes from like he sees her the first time, and literally the first time they speak, I'm pretty sure he says something brazenly offensive to her. I can't even remember. He literally says the first time he ever speaks to her, he looks at her and he says, "Are you a whore?" And then that's the first thing he says to her. And it's like, that is the guy who just says some shit like that. You get what I'm saying? And then within a couple episodes, he's trying to sell her off as a prostitute so he can get a deal done. And then he ends up stopping it from happening because he feels guilty because he's getting the soft spot for her. And then the plot line is like, wow, he really cares about me because he was going to sell me to be a prostitute, but then he stopped it from happening. Do you see how that works? Oh, he's like this awful savage guy who was trying to make me a prostitute. He's a gangster, a killer. He calls me a whore. But at the end of the day, he fucking saved me from being a prostitute because he has a soft spot for me. That is what they want. You got to understand that is the plot line of the guy that she tells you not to worry about, is shit like that. It's like this. The movie Troy, if you haven't seen this, the perfect depiction of it. And that's why I have this Brad Pitt in a couple other slides in here, because it's the perfect depiction of this, right? This woman right here, Briseis, the first scene that she sees of Brad Pitt in this movie is he slaughters like 50 people on her side and takes her into captivity. That's how it starts. By the end of it, she's in love with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the plot line. This is what she wants. The uncontrollable savage beast. He just slaughtered a bunch of her friends right in front of her, and she just can't help it that she's turned on by this. This is the plot line of what they want. It is not the nice guy who buys them flowers. It is this vibe right here, okay? She can't tell if he likes her, and he doesn't seem to care, yet somehow it's always chemistry when they see each other. That's kind of the vibe you're trying to create. This is the mentality and the approach that you want to have to this. Is like, she's around him, and it's like, it seems like there's always this vibe about it. Like, it's weird. Like, it might be like a conflict vibe, but there's just vibe. It's not like flat. It's not platonic. There's this vibe, and nobody's speaking on it, but there's vibe. And yet at the same time, she's up in the air about if he even likes her or not. And it seems like he could care less if he ever spoke to her again. And that is what you're trying to curate here. You curate that, you will become the guy that she tells you not to worry about. The flaccid nice guy provides none of this. You got to understand, like, you got to get all this nice guy bullshit out of you. You've got to be polarizing. You've got to have edge. You've got to be brash, loud, masculine, going for some shit, causing a fucking scene. That is the way you need to carry yourself if you want to be this kind of guy. Number 2, you need to develop the physique, okay? Here we go again with Brad Pitt and Troy versus the average guy's fucking physique, beer gut guy. Just like, who is the guy that she tells you not to worry about? We know the answer to this. You know what I'm saying? This is a big element. You need that kind of aura about you when you walk in a room based on how your frame looks, and it's a big thing. A lot of people try to act like this isn't a big deal. It is a big deal. On its own, it's not going to do enough for you, right? Like, if you're jacked but you're insecure deep down, like, you're not going to be the guy she tells you not to worry about. But this is like that first thing. Like, you walk in the room and they're just like, damn. Like, because they just feel this. They feel, I'm like, fucking hell, that's a man. And, you know, I put the Brad Pitt one in here again because it just perfectly typifies what I would say is the physique and the look and the way you're trying to move physically, which is aesthetic and dangerous. So if you look at this picture of Brad Pitt right here in Troy, again, this is that same scene I was talking about. He just captured the girl. He just killed a bunch of people. So he's got this aesthetic frame. He's covered in dirt and blood. This is what, again, going back to that fantasy, uncontrollable beast with problematic traits, who's just like, that is what she's into. This is what this displays. He's some bloody jacked dude. And I'm not saying you got to be violent. Like, that's not what it is necessarily. But it's just like that mode, that energy. That is what you're trying to capture with your physique. That is the way you want to look, right? If you look flaccid, if you look skinny, if you look soft, it's just not going to hit. You got to look like you can do damage, and you got to have this aesthetic frame. That's what you're trying to do. She wants the beast just like you want the beauty. Understand that, guys. Like, this is like, your fantasy is this super feminine woman who's just beautiful. She wants the opposite, because masculine and feminine are opposites. It's that polarity that attracts. So she wants the complete opposite. She wants a wild savage who is completely uncontrollable, who doesn't need anybody, the same way that you are attracted to her almost helplessness. We like that almost like feminine, helpless kind of thing where we always have to do shit for them kind of thing. We like that as guys, the same way she likes the savage, uncontrollable guy who like needs nothing from anybody. You got to give her what she wants. You got to be the beast, okay? You don't have to act violent and aggressive, but you need the ability to act that way. That's the key, right? Like I don't go around like trying to cause fights with people. That's kind of like low value. Honestly, it's like an insecure move to try and pick fights with people all the time. But you need that ability on some level, and it just oozes off you. Like you walk around and they're like, oh, this guy like could do damage. This guy looks like a beast. Like you just want that. You want when you walk in the room, you want them to just be like, fuck, that guy's hot. You want like, fuck, that looks like a warrior. That looks like a savage. That guy looks like a problem. He moves like it, right? He's fucking swinging his arms when he walks. He's like taking up space, like all this like physical presence about him. You want that physical presence, okay? Number 3, masculine character. This, along with what we just mentioned with mentality, might be the core elements of this. All 5 of these are essential, but this is a really important one too. Most men are androgynous, meaning that they don't have like polarity, right? Masculine, feminine. Well, somebody who's androgynous doesn't really have either masculine or feminine traits. They're very bland. And most guys are in this space, right? They've got this bland haircut, bland clothing, bland physique. Everything about them is fucking bland, and you want to avoid this. They are not in touch with their masculinity on a deep level. They try to blend in because it makes them feel safe to not rock the boat. You don't want to be this guy. You have to rock the boat if you want to be the guy. If you want to be the guy she tells you not to worry about, that guy rocks the boat, okay? It's just an alpha trait because it's a very beta thing to be trying to like get security in the crowd, because that's basically what you're doing when you try to get along with everybody. You're like, I feel safe in the approval of other people. The alpha guy, that douche mentality guy, he's like, I don't need any of you fuckers. I'm that guy, right? He's just like, he's an island of a man. He's just on his own. And you got to like develop that about you, right? The guy she tells you not to worry about is loud. Understand that. So what do I mean? Well, I mean this peacock right here. It's just like that. The male peacock has absolutely no use for these feathers other than as a loud display of his attractiveness. That is what it is. And that is what having masculine characters about. This is what the guy she tells you not to worry about has this. He's loud. And I don't mean loud like you're screaming. Like, I mean, there is like the life of the party guy who is loud in that sense. But I mean, like your presence is loud. Like you walk in the room and heads turn. You're dressed a certain way. You're like, it's like a fitted shirt or a tailored suit or a tank top with your guns out. It's like this thing. And like your presence is loud. Because it's just different, because you're distinct and you're good with who you are. The guy she tells you not to worry about knows who he is on a deep level, and he leans into it and is comfortable standing out. That is what it means to be loud. You're like the peacock. The peacock doesn't make a lot of noises. It just displays the tail. That's loud. That's what I mean when I say be loud. Like you want your presence to grab attention. That's how you're moving, okay? Like the old pickup artists used to literally call this peacocking. They would go out and they would do different things to try and display themselves. I think they kind of missed the boat on this because they kind of just made themselves look like goofballs. But it's like if you're good with your masculinity, it just becomes loud, right? It's like you've got extra buttons undone on the shirt. It's like you've got the fucking loud car. You've got the loud haircut, right? It's just like everything about you is this distinct look because you know who you are, and it just stands out amongst the masses of guys who all have that same parted haircut, who have the same fucking t-shirts and the same opinions about everything and the same safe cars and the same vocal tone of hesitation and the same shitty body language. You just stand out and you are loud because you know who you are and you're grounded in that. So you want to develop your masculine archetype. Here's a few examples, right? It can be all kinds of different guys, but you need to tap into like which element of masculinity, which character are you? And figure out who that is in yourself. So like, I mean, we've got James Bond, Han Solo, Conor McGregor here, 3 completely different characters, but at the core, they're very similar. These are three different masculine archetypes. You've got the spy who's dressed in a suit. You've got the rebel guy with the gun and like the vest on, like the leather vest. And he's kind of like got some like maverick cowboy kind of energy to him. You've got Conor McGregor with the fur coat and the tatted up look, and he's a fighter. Like these are three completely different people, yet at the core, they are distinct men who know who they are. And all three of them get attention. James Bond character walks in a room, gets attention. The Han Solo character walks in a room, attention. Conor McGregor, clearly attention. Here's more examples of this. You've got, again, the Tommy Shelby, the gangster character. I'm not saying go out and become a fucking gangster, but it's just a good example of how this works. You've got, like, right here, the guy from Sons of Anarchy. Like, you could be the biker guy. You could be the surfer guy. You could be, like, Arnold right there, like the bodybuilder, beach bum bro kind of guy. You could be the rapper. Like, it's just, like, you need to know, like, who am I? What is my character? Like, who am I in this life? And lean into that shit. She wants to know who you are. And you got to lean into one of these characters. All of these different characters get attention. They're all different, but they're the same in a weird way. All of these guys are different, but at the core, they know who they are and they lean into it unapologetically. And they also all have problematic traits. So like if we go back to it, problematic traits, biker gang guy. He's going to be gone all the time. You're going to like find out one night that he shot somebody. It's just like problematic shit. He got in a fight at a bar. He got arrested. It's just problematic shit. He's gruff and rough around the edges. The surfer guy is unreliable, right? He might talk to you for a bit, and then you just find out he's like banging some other chick on the beach. The gangster, I mean, yeah, clearly problematic. Arnold's character, kind of problematic. Like he's just like off. He's going to go work out, go to the beach, talk to some girls. Like he's just unreliable in the sense. Like unreliability is actually a big element of masculinity. Like a masculine man is very unreliable to women. And the reason I say is because like he's got other shit to do and women are like a sideshow in his life. So like it's just like he becomes unreliable because he's got other shit going on. He just doesn't care that much. So like unreliability is a big trait you want to develop. If you are consistent, she'll get bored with you and very unattracted. This is again how you become at cause. Unreliability is a big element of being at cause of her emotions. James Bond, again, he's going to go off to on some adventure. You're not going to hear from him for months. He's going to come back and he's gotten some other girl pregnant. It's just like shit like that. Han Solo. Like you watch the Star Wars movies, he's just picking a fight the whole time. He's unmanageable, all this kind of shit. Conor McGregor, I mean, like he's cheated on his wife God knows how many times. He's got a cocaine addiction. She just won't leave him, right? Problematic. You want to be problematic. I'm not saying you got to do antisocial shit that you don't want to do, but like a basic way to do this is to just be unavailable and unpredictable. Like blow her off sometimes. Right? Like I've had this happen where like I told a girl, like this girl asked me like, do you want to go get lunch tomorrow? She was trying to get me to do it. I was like, yeah, sure, we can do that. And then I literally just didn't show up. Like I just forgot about it. I was like, oh, I was working on something. She texted me about it. She got all mad, ignored me for a day. I saw her the next day and she was all over me. This is how this goes, right? They like this thing because it's like this guy's up to something. He's got other options. They don't like the reliable guy. They like the guy who just gives them a fucking roller coaster. You got to understand that. This is attractive to women because it allows them to create a fantasy in their head. This is, again, going back to their fantasy. They like this idea that it's like, this is the surfer guy who never grew up and all this kind of shit. But then like one day, you know, like he met me and he was problematic all the time, but he had a soft spot for me. And so he took care of me. It was like the gangster who like was ruthless and cutthroat with everybody, but he just like, he made sure I was okay. Like that's kind of like the vibe she wants. That's what she's looking for. And she's creating this fantasy around you because you know who you are. So she creates this character and this narrative and this story in her head because she falls in love with the fantasy. We look at her body, she thinks about the fantasy. That's how the attraction works here. And so you do this kind of stuff. She just creates a scene in her head. It's like, oh, he's the rapper. He's the baller. He's the whatever. He's the, you know, I mean, this is why they like the quarterback. They're like, oh, he's the quarterback. I get to be the wife of the quarterback. Like they like these stories. And if you're just this blob of a fucking nice guy, man, there's no story here. And she just is not interested in this, okay? Number 4, income and lifestyle. This is what the average guy's doing on a daily basis for his income, for his lifestyle. He's stuck in traffic in some shit car, wearing some shit clothes, going to a cubicle to make fuck all for income, like $50K or some shit like that. It's just like it's bland, it's boring, it's uninteresting. There's nothing gravitating about this. There's nothing masculine or charismatic about it. Nice guys have boring, safe lifestyles. Like they're very dependent typically. Like they're usually employees because they're relying on somebody else to provide for them. They haven't taken that on for themselves. They have no like edge to it. It's just the safe shit all the fucking time. It's the safe shit, safe clothes, safe job, safe company. Like it's all just safe and it's just boring as fuck. You got to understand that. The guy she tells you not to worry about isn't doing that. He's usually got independence. He's, he's like, maybe he's a fucking like military guy, or maybe he's an entrepreneur. Maybe he's like, I don't know, a musician. He's a whatever. Like, but he's just not doing the normal thing. And he's just got this air of masculinity to him in the way that he moves, and this bleeds into his income and lifestyle. He has some sort of career that facilitates a great lifestyle. And a great lifestyle doesn't necessarily mean a rich lifestyle, although that is an element of it. It's more just like an adventure. You want a lifestyle that is adventurous. And this is what's attractive. That's why I'm saying, like, you could be the guy who's like this alpha leader of a squad in the Army Rangers or some shit like that. And you're always gone off on some deployments, or you're out with your boys causing a scene on the town. And she's just like wondering what you're up to. But again, he's got a soft spot for me, even though you're like running around the Middle East banging hoes or doing whatever the fuck you're doing. This is the type of shit they get into, right? He's got a lifestyle. It's like an adventure. Shit's going down. He's a fucking traveling musician. Even if he's broke, he's just doing something. It's just like, it's these kind of lifestyles. This is the kind of shit you're trying to get into, right? She watches him and he just seems to be living different. And it's just refreshing. They want that story. You are, again, your own man. It's all in your world. You have created a world for yourself, a story for yourself, and you're living this out. And it's just very attractive to them. Now, like I said, you don't have to be rich, because if you're like this kind of guy from The Simpsons, or you're just like one of these boring ass dudes who makes good money, you're not going to get girls. Money on its own is boring. It's just like whatever. Like Warren Buffett is not getting like girls hot. Like he's not getting them aroused. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to be like Bill Gates, same thing. Like you've got to be the guy who's like a fucking scene. I mean, Elon Musk is honestly a good example of this from like the super billionaire perspective. Think about the contrast between an Elon Musk and a Bill Gates. Elon Musk is not like the perfect prototypical alpha, but he's certainly like got a lot of that in him. And he's very much like, he's like, he's got a character to him. He's mad scientist. He's genius guy, right? He's always doing shit. He's got like 10 kids with 4 wives. Like this dude's crazy. He's a maniac and he's always causing shit to happen, right? That is like lifestyle. It's like 1 minute we're building rockets. The next minute we are building fucking cars. The next minute we're crashing out on the president. Like it was just always some shit going on. This is the lifestyle. This guy's like crazy. He's got something. So he's got the character. He's got the mentality, obviously. And he's just always shit's going down, right? It's a crazy lifestyle versus like some safe, bland Warren Buffett, Bill Gates kind of character who just like, it's just all like vanilla and they're flaccid and like you see the difference there, right? I'm not saying, again, you don't have to be a billionaire. You can literally make like 60, 70K per year and be this guy, right? Because you just need to have a decent enough lifestyle for yourself. Like you just need to have shit going on, basically. It's really not, the income is not that big of a factor to be this guy. It's really more about lifestyle. It's not about being rich. It's about lifestyle. All the other guys are boring, but she sees you out traveling for work, or it's like it's a Tuesday afternoon and you're smoking a cigar by a pool, yet somehow you have money. It's like that, right? Like we're not trying to be like some broke loser here. It's like, how the fuck is this guy out smoking a cigar by the pool while I'm in an office? That's what she's thinking. Or it's like this just adventurous thing. He's on vacation again. It's like, how does this work, right? Like it's that kind of thing. Like that's the energy, and you're always on the go. It's an adventure. She's just drawn into this guy. This is the guy she tells you not to worry about. The guy she tells you not to worry about has an interesting lifestyle. That's what you're trying to develop here. Number 5, status and brand. Be the guy everyone is talking about when you aren't around. And I mean that in the sense, a good example, at the last real estate firm that I worked at, I was like the social media guru there. I get all my business from social media. They didn't know how to do this stuff. And so like I was always getting this clout, right? Like I wouldn't be around and people would be talking about how great I was and how I was this rising star and how I knew all this shit about social media. And it just had this magnetic effect where like I was just this guy. It's like, oh, this guy is like this genius of social media and he knows all this shit and he's killing it and he's climbing up and he's going to be a star at this. Like it's just this kind of thing people are talking about you, right? Like that's an example of it. It could be like in the friend group, you're the one that is at the center of everything. So when you're gone, it's like all the other group members just talk about you. They're like, yeah, think about like what John was up to the other day, or like John was crazy at this party, or Brad was crazy with this thing he did, right? Like, it's just, you want to be that guy, like you're the guy everyone's talking about when you're not around. It's just you, the scene is around you. You are the, like, everybody's orbiting you. Again, going back to this, you're living in your own world. Like, everybody's in your world. They're orbiting you. They're talking about you. Like, their perspective on life is oriented around you. Even think about it like that. It's like, the way they view everything is based on their relationship with you. Like, you create this kind of effect for people, and like how they see the world is based on how they see you and your life. It's like, it's this crazy thing that happens when you step into this mentality. You want this air of mystery and excitement around yourself. Like, you don't want to be predictable. You don't want to be boring. You don't want her to know what you're up to. You just want it to be like he's on vacation again, like he's on vacation again, or it's like she checks Instagram and she's like, what the fuck? Like, it's like some crazy scene going on. You're at some party and it's just all hell breaking loose. And it's just like, just shit's going on around you. And it's just like everybody else is home watching fucking Netflix, and this guy's just causing a scene, and it's just like, what is going on here? And you don't have to be like, if you're not a party guy, I'm not a party guy, but examples of this, right? Like, I think I put them in here. It's like, I'll just go ahead and skip to it. It's like, here on Instagram, it's like, the average guy's Instagram account versus here's my Instagram account. She sees this shit. I remember, guys, I posted this picture that you're seeing right here, and I got like several girls from like my high school that I hadn't talked to in years, just like randomly following me from it's just like shit like that. Or I'll post some picture of me out on a dune buggy, or here I am on the top of some building in Miami smoking a cigar. It's just like shit I'm up to. And it's just like, she's just like, what is going on with this guy? It's like every time he pops up, it's some shit. Like, that's kind of what you're trying to get. That's the vibe. That's the brand. That's the aura and the status you're trying to get around you. It's like, when you're not around, everybody's talking about you. Every time she sees you online, it's shit's going down. It's like, this guy is just a scene. He's a movie. Again, he's a character. He's in his own world. You're trying to craft all this stuff. It's just like, he walks in the room. So just like, imagine combining everything that we've discussed so far. You have this certain mentality where you are in your own world. You're polarizing. You don't give a fuck. You're this wild beast of a man who's just doing his shit and doesn't give a fuck what she thinks. You're jacked. You look like you can do damage, and you can. You've got this crazy lifestyle going on. And every time she sees you online, you're just up to some shit. Like, you see how all this stuff just like starts coming together, and she's just like, what the fuck is going on? And like, who you are, like, you've got your character built. So it's just like this thing. This is what you're trying to develop here. You want her thinking, what is up with this guy? You just want her just always thinking that. This is how you become the guy she tells you not to worry about, because this is how you end up with a girl who's around her boyfriend, and she keeps talking about this guy she knows, and he is like losing his mind because she won't shut the fuck up about this guy. And he's like, now paranoid and stalking the guy's Instagram. Like, why? Who is this guy? And she keeps saying, stop worrying about it. Why are you so insecure? It's not a big deal. And she's doing all this shit. She didn't even know it at the beginning, but she's just sucked into this guy's world to the next point where she's dumping her boyfriend to go with this guy. Like, it doesn't even like happen consciously at first. It's just like over time, it's just like happens naturally. She can't help it. She's just drawn into it. You're a tractor beam that pulls her in when you act like this. Okay. Every time she checks social media, it's something new. You become like this movie she's watching and can't stop talking about. Now, the mindset is the core of everything, and that's why we started with mindset. That is like, I mean, for everything from your physique to your, character to this brand and the lifestyle and everything you're building here, it all starts with that mentality. And what we call that on the channel here is douche maxing. This is something that I've been laying out for you guys. If you're new to the channel, I recommend you clicking the video that's coming up on screen right now. That will give you an intro to understanding douche maxing with women and all this kind of stuff. And if you're a regular viewer of the channel, go watch it. It's a good refresher. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. I'll talk to you later.